I just lay here.
All right, where can I stand actually without getting blinded? Because it's intense. Oh, that's really bright.
I was telling you, stand over there.
Yeah, but I don't know that it's any better. Like I directed it here. Anyway, can you see me on there? You can. Yeah, you got to stand here so that the phone like stops the. There we go. Amazing. Hi everyone that's online. Chaos here in the room, but we're getting there. So thank you to all of you who have time, energy, investment, everything being here. Much appreciated. This is a bit of an experiment for Morgan and I. I've done this before. Morgan and I worked together last year with a Christmas in July event, but we haven't done one of these before. So as you can see, teething issues. However, we'll get there. So we're here today because we want to help you get a jump start on your socials for the year. Our plan with this Brunch and Learn is we've got a series planned, right? We've got an entire year worth of workshops, something every month, different speakers coming in with the goal of helping you with, like, obviously in a 2-hour workshop, it's going to be fairly high level. We can't get right into the depths of stuff, but it's enough to give you, our goal is to give you enough that you can move on and work out what the next thing is that's going to help you as you build your business, however it is that you choose to build it. Because social media is not for everybody. And workshops in person are not for everybody, and that's okay. Whatever it is that works for you, works for you. You know, if you know anything about who I am and what I do, it's all about, my goal is about helping you to define what you want in your world, how you want to be able to live, and then design a business around that that will give you what it is that you want. Now, before I go too much further, I can't see any chats from anybody who's online. I'm not going to deliberately ignore you. I literally cannot see you. I've got a little tiny thing of me and a photo of myself. So if you've got any questions or want to contribute to the conversation, etc., please just unmute yourself and jump in. I can hear you. I will be able to hear you, but I won't be able to actually respond. Like as in initiate that conversation, I guess. So.
Sorry, Janine's just got a question.
Yeah.
When we look in view mode, Terry, you're not the whole screen.
Yeah, I'm just
so
trying to
won't be able to see
fix that at the moment.
what you write.
All right. Is it? Oh, Morgan, can you just share the PowerPoint into Zoom as well? Because at the moment it's sharing automatically, and maybe that's. And then it should put what's coming from the phone up in the corner. You probably don't need it just yet, but.
I'm just trying to make it work, really.
All right, I'll let you play with that and I'll keep going just for a minute to cover some housekeeping because we are well and truly behind planned time. Okay, so housekeeping before we start. This is being recorded, as obviously there are people online. Has the recording started? I haven't seen that come through. Oh, that's what that little blue line is. Let's sort that one. Right. I do request that the recording not be shared beyond, you know, those of you who have invested and spent the money. And also in terms of the conversations they had in the room, to please keep those confidential. I figure that's just a point of respect and shouldn't need to be said, but I kind of need to say it anyway. For those of you who are online, if you need to go, just go, come back, whatever, we'll make it work. You guys who are here in the room, couple of basic things. Emergency exit, I think you found it coming out of Ruthven Street. Okay, that's the easiest. You can get out the back of the building, it's longer though. And just, we're all adults, just do what you want to do, okay? The plan is for this to run until midday. We all know I'm good at chatting. I'm trying really hard to rein that in and get on time. But if we go over, I apologise. If you need to leave right on, please do. If you want to stay here, I have actually allowed an extra hour or so. So if you want to stay here and actually work on some stuff, ask some more questions, etc., that's an option as well, if that works with the rest of your day. Oh, I would also, before we go any further, like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are. So for us here in Toowoomba, that's the Yarrawa and Guyabal people, and whoever is on the place of where all the other people are who's watching online. I just want to thank those traditional owners for their care for the land on which we all share now, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and those who will lead us into the future. Okay, other details. So we're going to do a quick little connection activity. Now, Janine, I think you're the only person who's actually online with us at the moment because I know Ali had a client coming in. So this is going to be a little interesting. I had planned on having people have conversations with each other. I was going to send Janine to a breakout room, but we might have to do that some other way. Now, what I would suggest is I'm actually going to pair you guys up because I kind of know I think I know where relationships sit. Stuart, have you met Sharon before? No. Right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 5 minutes. We're going to have a little chat. Janine, I think you get to chat with Morgan here, okay, if that's all right. And Claire, you and I are going to have a chat. I want you to find out as much as you can about the other person and their business. And then when we come back after the 5 minutes, and so for those of us who are in the room, we'll actually separate a little bit so it makes it easier. After the 5 minutes, you get to share about the other person. So not about yourself. And I'll give you up to 2 minutes to share on that one. And Morgan can be a timer because I don't have anything to time with. Oh, yes, I do. I've got my Pomodoro timer. I'll share that with you more of that later. But that's a really horrible sound. It's designed to break your concentration. So 5 minutes, go have a chat, and we'll be back here in a moment. All right. It's all right. Come over here. I want to stand right in front of the aircon.
So your
Right.
is 10,000 Dreams.
Yes.
Is that the only
I am hating technology.
No. All right. So 10,000 Dreams is my front-facing business,
No.
essentially.
Terry, take your mic off.
Great idea.
Can you just mute that?
Just we'll turn it off. Can you hear me, Janine? Okay, cool. That's still working then. Technology today.
So 10,000 Dreams
Okay, perfect. Do you want to go first? Can I hear
Do
you?
you?
That is-
What
Oh, I can
questions do
hear
you
you
want
now.
to ask? You can't?
No, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, perfect. Helps if I take myself off speaker. True. So, what's your name? Morgan.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you're getting married. When are you getting married?
2 months. So March 22nd, I get married.
Wow.
Just
And how long have you been together?
so we've been together a bit over 3 years, but we actually met in high school. But we were completely different groups. Like we didn't talk to each other at all. But turns out we've basically had connections our whole lives. We just haven't actually met.
Trust each other.
Yeah, like we went to the same daycare mum, but at different times, and we went to the same daycare, but different times. Then we went the 1 year I was at the same primary school, different classes, like our whole life. Yeah.
Is that called kismet?
Pardon?
Is that called kismet?
Something like oh, my friend kept saying it was like close lines or something like that. Yeah, just always so close, but never actually crosses.
There you go.
Yeah, and
How
I
crazy is that?
not figure out what is going on with this Zoom because obviously the mic is connected to this screen, but then when Terry's up speaking, it's not switching over to focus on that one. But we'll share the screen so you'll actually see the slides.
Yeah. I'm going to be blind otherwise if it doesn't go bigger.
Yes, no, I know. Can you, when you look at your view up the top, does it let you hit speaker?
No, I've tried all three. So I've tried speaker gallery and multi-speaker and nothing. And the full screen is what I've got now, but I've got 6 tiles on the full screen. So it's not going to one particular screen.
Right. Okay. I wonder if I make the other screen a host or make co-host. Maybe that will.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So how long have you been doing VA?
VA, this is going into my 5th year now. So prior to this, I had a cleaning business, which did commercial, domestic, builders cleans and bond cleans. And I had that running for 16 years. So
Figured it.
I got in, so I've been self-employed now, 21 years? This is my 21st year of self-employment.
Oh, wow. 21st year, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
So I wouldn't want to go back to working for a boss. Well, I work for many bosses now, don't I? But
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like, so yeah, how have you found it? Like that jump between the two and like the different lifestyles, I guess, as well.
I suppose the lifestyle comparison is when you with a cleaning business, you could only take holidays like in school holidays type thing because a lot of your domestic cleans fluctuated. It's sort of like a bricks and mortar business. You've sort of got to always be in it or have staff to run it for you. Now I actually holiday with my business, so it makes my life work balance really super easy. The growth of the business, this one's been a bit more slow growing, I think, because many people are dubious or don't know, how to access a VA or what type of tasks we do. Whereas cleaning business, everyone knows they've got to have a clean home.
Yeah.
Or a clean business. So the
So
growth
how many businesses have you actually had?
I've had 2, actually 3 all up. I used to run a karaoke business with my ex-fiance many years ago when I was 22 to 26, I think. I was with him for 5 years. So this is actually my 3rd business when you think about it. But yeah, I only count the last 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And that is time.
Kath?
We're gonna get back in the wind.
Now we've got Kirsty on our screen too.
Yes, Kirsty.
Hi.
Kirsty is Terry's VA.
Ah, hello.
Nice to meet you.
And
Well,
you.
I'm good. Well, I actually started working for her way back 2023. And yeah,
That's
just
so
her
cool.
sidekick.
And how
I'm
long have
actually
you been a VA?
Since 2014. So
Wow,
it's
there you go.
11 years now. Almost.
How exciting. Is she coming back? Yep. Perfect. Are you in Australia, Kirsty, or are you overseas?
Yep, I'm actually based in Manila, Philippines.
Okie dokie. And we're gonna come back.
All right.
We might.
Figure that out.
Can you hear me again now? Is this back on or not?
Yep, we can hear you.
Can you hear me again now? Thank you, Kirsty. So because of our tech calendars here, we might, for the moment, just spin the phone around to show people while we're each actually speaking in the room, because I don't know how else to do this today. We'll work out a better system next time. Actually, what we could do is, rather than shifting the phone, we'll shift the people, and get you guys to come up here. Just if you stand over here, you'll be able to see people. Just a big light. But I'm going to start. So I got to talk to Claire. Natural therapies, natural health therapy. Man, So Claire's just around the corner here. We actually met the other day when we were getting coffee from Jordan, just down the road. Best coffee in Toowoomba. W Coffee, got nothing to do with it. Just go support a beautiful small business. And a really good human being. So Claire does life coaching within the clinic, but uses a whole lot of other modalities as well to help people to get to the root cause of what's essentially holding them back. So whether that's a stress or a trauma or whatever, and then works through to try and, pardon?
Body memory.
There you go, body memory. So but she's right there in the Australia Arcade, been doing this for a period of time. There you go, 42 years, and has been through a few different iterations with her business. But yes, so it's Claire. Claire, would you like to come up and I'll give you the mic so the recording goes onto the thing and you can share a little bit about who I am and what I do. You want to just hold it? Yeah, that'll work. Done.
And in the right spot?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Chatting with Terry. Yes, I met Terry quite a few years ago, but then we sort of lost touch and I did not remember. And no, and then we did meet in Jordan's coffee shop, and she mentioned that she was doing these workshops and also the networking. And I thought, right, my business has slowed down. I've had an experience where I have not been working, so the whole thing so this is actually the part to relaunch, to restart, to reconnect. So when I was chatting with Terry, she mentioned 10,000 Dreams, and it's a wonderful initiative, an amazing initiative to support anybody that is wanting to attain a goal of designing their life the way they want to experience life, so that they're achieving something and they're attaining something that actually is fulfilling for them, and leaving a legacy. So it can be moving into encouragement through her programs to move into a whole unfamiliar new field and to have the courage to step up. Terry and her partner also have a real estate business, and this wonderful venue is part of it. So it's going to be an event place where it can support events in the CBD, and that enables small businesses to have a place where they can actually present even their skills, their knowledge, their wares. So very much looking forward to it. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Hello, peoples. So I met Sharon. Sharon is a wonderful individual. So thank you very much for our chat. So Sharon's a very experienced remedial therapist. Based in Toowoomba, has an extensive experience going back over 25 years in the industry. And in that time, she's managed multiple clinics and obviously along with that, multiple staff and all of the joys that go along with that, but also all of the challenges that go along with that. So Sharon's through the COVID years, I guess, has made the decision to move to a home-based clinic operation. And that fits in really well with her current lifestyle needs, and also her own business and personal needs. Sharon's here today really to explore social media and how it can help her business, not so much grow. Sharon indicated that she has all the clients that she needs right now, but she's looking to use or explore the potential of social media platforms, delivering education for her clients and the general public around what she does and the benefits of her services. So Sharon, it was lovely to meet you.
Thank you, Stuart. And likewise, really enjoyed our chat. Sorry, one side. Stuart is a food technician. I hope I got that right. And has clients all across the country, including Perth and Sydney. He originally worked for Wises, but in 2021, when they decided to close down, he decided it was time to work for himself. And he did a number of short uni courses, and 4 years on, he has this wonderful growing business. In regards to learning more about social media, Stuart already has a number of media presence across a number of platforms, but he'd like to learn how to improve what he does. And that's why he's here at the workshop and making sure that he is planning in the right direction when it comes with social media. A couple of the platforms that he already uses are Facebook for general information and LinkedIn for professional contact. And it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Just put that there so we don't get double stuff. Okay, so I really quickly had a chat to Janine, who was obviously joining us over Zoom. We had a quick chat while I was dealing with technology because I hate it. So she's actually been in business for 21 years. She's had 3 businesses over time, but she really only counts 2 because the first one she had a karaoke business.
So much fun. Yeah.
I think there's possibility there and make it quite interesting. My next question should have been to her, what's your karaoke song? Yeah. So I hope she answers that next. And yeah, so she is Beyond a Business Consultant. So she's actually over Brisbane way. And I've met her through BX, and she's a virtual assistant and consultant for other businesses, giving them a hand. So yes, that's a little bit about Janine.
Awesome.
And
Just ask Janine to unmute.
Janine, can you unmute, please?
Thank you so much. I had a chat with the lovely Morgan. She's exceptional in her business. She is a social media marketer, a content creator, and a former journalist. So we can learn so much from you. And residing in wonderful Toowoomba. She's about to get married in 8 weeks' time. So I wish her well for that. She's been with her fiance for about 3 years together. And their journey of coming together was, I thought it was kismet, because she said she went to the same high school, but they didn't sort of date, and they were in the same childcare and daycare all through the years. So how cool is that? Not knowing your partner, but doing exactly the same trajectory. So looking forward to today for Morgan and Terry's presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good work, guys.
All right.
Getting here from Beyond Business Consultants. How can I help?
And we'll just mute Janine.
Yep.
She just answered a phone.
I'll let you, I forget what was which with these. I've got a question I want to ask people very quickly
Yes,
before
go.
I hand across to you.
Yep.
Okay. Am I on audio there? Because I'm not sure.
Percy, can you hear her?
All right. Let's.
Yep, I can hear you. It's loud and
a little
clear.
bit. All right. Hopefully that's it better. I'm just going to get this out of the way because of the light on the. Can I just move those for a second? Just because of the corner of the thing there. All right. So, you hear me all right?
Mhm.
Awesome. So very quickly, because we are absolutely running short of time, I want to quickly grab from you, each of you, the key thing that you want to get out of today. Put them up here so that we can use that to help guide us as we need follow through the conversations. Morgan and I have absolutely planned out what we want to say, but we can also direct where the attention is focused depending on what you're looking for here. Sharon, you said about Stuart with what he's looking for, and I can't remember what you said. I'm sorry, specifically.
If you're on the right path.
Yeah, enhance planning and also looking at how to engage more.
Yep. Yep. Sharon, what are you looking for?
About how to use social media to educate my clients.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
what platforms use.
Yep. Claire?
A lot of the others, what has been stated, it's relevant content,
Yep.
especially for Facebook. Engaging with my target area.
Yep.
And putting knowledge into the knowledge of my field into content that will be able to be understood without it becoming too technical. So it's about
So like
putting the
sharing.
knowledge into
Language.
Yeah,
I think it's very
language.
much about
Yep.
Language.
Yep.
Simplifying it.
Yep.
Yep.
The message, key message.
Yep. Cool.
Janine, what about you? Are you able
I
to
was
chat?
just typing about like the length of posts, whether it be on LinkedIn or Facebook, and sort of what not to post. What's a real bad no-no for businesses?
Yep. Now, I'm going to assume, Ali, that you're still not able to chat, and that's completely fine. Is there anything anyone else wants to add to this before we go any further? No?
All good.
Are you,
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to advertising?
Not really in today's workshop, but it's something we're planning on doing in future workshops.
Yes.
It's simply because there's so much within advertising, and it's not my area of specialty at all. I've never paid for an ad. So we're actually bringing in an expert to do that down the track, and we'll share that with you when we get to sharing the calendar later on. So not at this point, really. It's beyond the scope of today's 2 hours, honestly, given that we're a quarter of the way through our designated time already. So yeah, but no, I mean, very important to understand, but just not in today's plan. Yep. Awesome. All right. So that's pretty much everything in terms of, one other thing. There's a bell at the back of the table. Janine, sorry, you can't see this one because of where you are. I call that the success bell. Now, I use this when we do, everyone knows that I run I don't know if you know, but I run mini retreats called a GSD Getaway, which at the moment are female only. Sorry, Stuart, I don't have a venue. It's literally venue constraints that stop me. We're working on that. So GSD Getaways are a weekend for women who are in business to get away from all of your day-to-day so that you can get shit done. That's literally what GSD stands for. So at the GSD Getaways in particular, the success bell lives in the middle of the table because often what's happening in that room is people are working through a to-do list that has never been gotten attention on, or they're working on getting a project implemented that's been sitting in the too hard basket. And the success bell is, I've done it, I'm going to bloody celebrate it, right? So that has only been moved from the middle of the table because of the projector, but it's literally there so that when something either syncs for you today that hasn't before, or you manage, because we're going to get you to do some stuff later on. So if you get to do some stuff that you haven't done before, if you feel like you've done made a little breakthrough, then ring that success bell. because this is what I have discovered, and I literally started doing it for myself. I've got a much smaller bell that I use in my office. It's a little bit more sedate than that one. You don't miss that one. Is I have a struggle with procrastination, like that whole challenge of, it's so hard, I don't want to do it, I'll just go do something else, right? And I'm kind of training myself like Pavlov's dog. I chase the success bell now, and I'll start on something. You know, I've got a gazillion unfinished projects in different places. But if I start on something, I've got the success bell beside me, I will persevere and finish it so I can ring that damn bell, right? So we did have a school teacher there who didn't like the bell, but she's the only person I've ever had at a GSD who didn't like the idea of the success bell. So that's there today. I also have another tool that I'm going to share with you later on, which is called the Pomodoro timer. Now, this came to me in a subscription box that I'm a part of and absolutely love it. Pomodoro is about focused attention and then taking a deliberate break, right? And so it helps with beating that procrastination again. If you look on the sides of this, don't mind me, there's a bunch of numbers. So if I want a 1 minute timer, I get the 1, face it upwards, and the timer automatically starts. And after a minute, the alarm will go, right? So we're going to use this later on. We should have used it beforehand, but the noise is really, really loud. When you sit it like this, the timer stops. But if you don't have one of those already or a success bell, I suggest that you do, because holy smokes, they make all the difference in the world for that focused attention to get shit done when you're not in a GSD getaway. All right, Morgan, I'm going to pass it across to you. Hopefully I can run the tech as well as you have in the background, and I'll turn myself off for the moment.
Well, we'll see.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to let you change over the PowerPoint because I can't be trusted. Apparently, it is not wanting to cooperate with me. Well, while she's figuring that out, yeah, if you guys want some water or anything like that, we do have some water over. Cool, that's working. Over there. And then once my little section's done, coffee, tea, Vicky's, there's some stuff there. So first off, I'll get you to jump on your phones, scan this QR code. So we'll explain a little bit more down the track, but especially for Janine, scan the QR code. It's going to take you to a Facebook group. And for Janine, on there, you will see some of the files that they're going to actually physically get, and then you can actually access them. Okay.
So you want to
Join it up. Yep. For the people that are taking part, participating. But then we've gotten out of the way and you're on there. Okay, well, we'll just take note of what the name is. We'll send it to you as well. So the Brunch and Learn Hub. Yep, cool.
One was blue, so
Okay. Kirsty will jump on and sort that out.
If it's not going to work, we'll get
Yep. Okay. Cool. All right, that's fine. And we'll go next slide, please. Because I can't control it from up here. We had a remote, it doesn't want to work. So nothing is working today. At least we've got the aircon. That's a positive. Well, barely, but it's getting there. You should have seen me earlier. Poor Terry was getting messages. Bring help. Okay. Well, we'll just like that. So how's everyone's day going? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to jump in my head to what I believe is the next slide. So, perfect. Okay, cool. Well, I can see it on there. So, you know, you've seen this advertised I've obviously jumped up and I've got some interesting facts to share with you, but you're probably wondering, well, actually, who is this person and why should I care? So, geez, that's gone. So yeah, my name is Morgan. Now I've met some of you before, and anyone watching the recording and watching live as well. So yeah, my name's Morgan. I'm 28. I started my business, MJ Communications, in 2023. So I'm a born and bred Okie girl. Now my dad's in the army, so that means I've moved around a lot. When I was 17, I finished high school. She's got it up.
Ring that.
Yeah, ring that bell. Yeah. So yeah, when I finished high school, I was 17, and because I moved around a lot, I thought, bugger it, I'm going to move interstate by myself and go to university. I did a double degree down in Adelaide while my whole family was up here. During that time, I ventured into radio, print, TV journalism. I've studied overseas as well, which was a lot of fun, and that's a whole other story. And the really interesting thing, so my double degree was in journalism and creative writing. Now, the really great thing when it comes to journalism, and especially because I started in radio, I spent multiple years as a radio producer. I won a 9 News Student Journalism Award for a TV bulletin that I did up down in Adelaide. And then my career has been in print journalism. So the understanding of the different ways to write, those formats, those mediums, completely different, and you need to be able to communicate with that audience in a way that they understand. So that's where I gained a lot of those skills. Once I finished uni, moved around a lot more, so I did a lot of community, independent, and worldwide organisation work. My last stint was with News Corp here in Toowoomba. And yeah, in 2023, I just decided it just wasn't for me anymore. I'd covered a lot of things. I've done a lot of court, crime, emergency services, politics, business, agriculture, it goes on, a lot of different fields. But my favorite was the community. I love to actually tell the stories of the community and the achievements of people that felt like they didn't actually have a voice. So when I left journalism, I wanted to find a way to continue doing what I love and telling those stories just in a different way. So I went back, I learned a little bit more, and I started my business. So I do social media management, marketing, content creation, and copywriting for other sole traders, micro and small businesses. And it's been a whirlwind really ever since. It's been a bit of a crazy time. Next one. If we can make it work. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Well, it's gone a bit odd. Social media. So, doesn't matter. Social media. Now, obviously, there's a range of different platforms, and it can be incredibly overwhelming when you get started. Now, I know people learn in different ways. So some people learn better when they're hearing it. Some people learn when they're actually seeing the information out. Some people learn better when they're writing it down. So whichever way you absorb the information, fantastic. So we're going to break them down just very quickly, looking at the different social media platforms. Obviously, the main one is Facebook. 2.9 billion monthly active members. About 2 billion people use it daily, which is incredible. Okay, now when we're looking at the different age brackets, Facebook is great for about 25 to 44, but the older generations are getting on board as well. So you're starting to see a lot more of a growth for that. So you can see 55 and plus, they're starting to use it, especially because if you think the younger generations, that's how they're communicating now, and the grandparents want to stay in touch. So they're getting onto Facebook, okay? Now, Facebook, obviously, we know it is great for local marketing. Now, I'll touch on it a little bit more to what the difference is between the different marketing aspects for social media, but I specialize in organic social media, which is basically the free media. Okay. Facebook is great in terms of its capabilities. I keep forgetting that it's actually a wall and not like a curtain or something. So and I'm like, oh, wall. Facebook has a lot of opportunities, but with all of your social media platforms, it really depends on how you're using it. Okay, it's not about just jumping on and hoping that it works. Everything has to have a strategy. Next one, Instagram. Getting a lot more popularity. Now, Instagram and Facebook are owned by Meta. So they're similar. They're sort of under the same umbrella, but then slightly different at the same time. 2.35 billion active users on Instagram, but Instagram has a very different target audience. Okay, Instagram is for the younger people. They use it in a different way. Now, when I say younger, trust me, it's not the youngest audiences that you see on social media, but 18 to 34, really 34 is even a little bit more of a stretch. I'd say about 18 to 25 is mainly using Instagram. And it is perfect for that visual storytelling. People are swiping on Instagram. Okay, they're not consuming information very quickly. So you need to have a think if you're using Instagram and if you need to be using Instagram, are you posting the right content for that platform? Okay. Then you've got LinkedIn. LinkedIn is perfect for B2B businesses. So business to business. Now, if you're a business to customer, it's a little bit different because the general population isn't really going to be on LinkedIn because they're not connecting with their friends on that side. Okay, LinkedIn is great for the professionals, and that's why the main ages 30 to 49, and it's a great way to connect and network. Okay, so again, we'll dive a little bit more into that target audience, but that's a bit of a breakdown on some of them, and you'll get these slides as well, so don't worry, but yeah, and we'll just go to the next one when it wants to cooperate. And also LinkedIn obviously has a lot less people, 2.9 billion down to 950 million. Okay. Yes. That's okay.
Bulk of my clients.
Yep. Yep.
So you recommend Facebook would be the prime?
Facebook would be the main one. So are you a business to customer, business to business? Business customer. Facebook would be a must for you. Yeah. And again, I'll sort of jump on that as well. But again, if there's any questions, just feel free to interrupt me because it's better like staying on track with the mind instead of like jumping back and forth, figuring out what it is. Now, TikTok. There has been a lot of interesting information when it comes to TikTok. Now, people lost their minds when TikTok was banned in the US for 12 hours. That it was down for 12 hours and people lost their minds. So there's 1 billion users on TikTok at the moment, but that is going right up. A lot of small businesses, a lot of artists are using TikTok to their advantage, and they're gaining a lot of success. There's music on the radio that only gained popularity because of TikTok. Okay. Now, TikTok is obviously a lot more popular with teenagers and young adults, 16 to 24, but we are starting to see an increase for the older generations as well getting on board. I used to think, you know, pre-COVID, TikTok was only about the dances. That's sort of what I thought. Whenever you hear a TikTok, it was the stupid dances that people were doing on there. It is so much more. But again, it's all about what you're putting out there to if there's a point to it. So it is very fun, authentic. It's short form video. It's 60 seconds long. And yeah, there's a whole strategy behind it. It's gaining a lot more popularity, but it's not for everyone. Okay. Pinterest is another one that a lot of people are using, not as much, obviously. It only has 465 active users a month compared to the other ones, way less. Okay, but Pinterest is great for that visual inspiration. Now, there are businesses that use it quite well. So they link it to blog posts. They'll be putting up images, travel agencies, the top 10 must things you need to do when visiting Greece, and they'll link it straight to a blog. Okay, and then so that's driving traffic to their website. It doesn't work for everyone, but if you can make it work for yourself, great. But I don't focus a whole lot on Pinterest. To be honest, I use it for the wedding, but that's about it. And then, of course, we've got good old YouTube. Now, YouTube is still incredibly relevant. And something I wanted to bring up, when you Google search a business, the first things that pop up are videos. And the videos are linked to YouTube. So even though you've got TikTok and Instagram and people are searching for clips on those platforms instead of going to YouTube, YouTube is still incredibly relevant, especially when it comes to SEO. Okay, 2.5 billion active users globally. About 2 billion people still use it daily. They're still watching it. And the great thing with YouTube, especially it doesn't need to be landscape when you're filming. It can be portrait. And they've got YouTube Shorts now, which are basically the reels that you see on Instagram and Facebook. So they are adjusting to it. That's a bit of a quick rundown on the different platforms, how they're different and the different ages. YouTube, it's really all age groups are still using it. My sister puts on Miss Rachel for my nieces. So it's a whole age group, really. It's just about accessing it to the best of your ability. Okay.
Morgan, do you consider Google business profiles part of your social media platform?
I wouldn't necessarily class it as a social media platform, but it is incredibly important. So I do help businesses with their Google business profile, but it's all about getting it to work hand in hand. So I wouldn't be relying solely on it, but you want to have a Google presence, especially for reviews, because people will still Google a business and very quickly they will still search for a business online first. So about the statistics were only just recently updated. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's about 74% of people in Australia, when they hear about a business, they will go online and search it. If you are not active, if they cannot find you, or if you are on Facebook, for example, but you haven't updated it in 2 years, they won't bother with you. They'll go somewhere else because they'll second guess how active you are. They might think the business is closed down if you're not actually active. About 74% of people will do that first. So it's really important to have that presence and make sure that you're presenting yourself in the way that you want to be perceived.
So with you, say I do have Google My Business, but I haven't actually done anything on it for a fair while. I used to do posts and a bit of Google.
Yep.
And yeah, I found it initially really was quite active. And my position was great.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So
that's awesome.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I just got the ball.
The thing with Google Business Profile as well is obviously you want the different platforms talking to each other, but when you're posting, there's the different sizes for the posts that you put on Facebook and Instagram, and the different platforms highlight the different sizes. So at the moment, there's been a big change with Instagram, and they're preferring a 4:5 ratio for content, but that size doesn't work for Google Business Profile. So if you're putting up the same content for the different platforms, that's fine, but you've got to resize it for the different platform. Otherwise, you're going to cut off half your graphic, and then what's the point? Yeah, that is it. So we're going to touch on some terms very quickly so that things make a little bit sense. If I'm saying a word, you sort of understand a little bit what I'm talking about. And this is actually really important if you are looking at your analytics, which is another thing I will very briefly touch on, but that's something else that we're looking into later on in the year as well. Okay, so your engagement rating. Now, this is actually incredibly important, and it is something that the platforms are starting to prioritize with their algorithms. Okay, the dreaded word, the algorithms. Okay, your engagement rating is basically the amount of reach that you have versus the number of actual engagement. Okay, so say you've put up a post, you've reached 500 people, but only 2 people have engaged with it. Okay, so it's back to simple math. That number divided by the number, that's your engagement rating. Okay, now typically your engagement rating for a business that's doing really well on socials, about 5% is the standard engagement rating. Okay, because not every person that sees your content is obviously going to engage with it. But we want to focus on the engagement because we know if there is a higher engagement rating and you've nurtured that online community, you have more of a chance of converting. 5%. Another scary thing, say you've got 1,000 followers on Facebook. When you put up a post, only about 20% of your followers will see it. Only about 20%. Okay? And if you think about it, if you think of every single page that you have followed on Facebook, every single page you've liked, are you going to see every single post that they put up? No one has the time for that. Okay? All right, impressions versus reach. This is another one. So your impressions is the number of times that your content is being seen. Your reach is the number of actual independent users. Okay, so if you can see that your impressions are higher than your reach, which I really hope they are, it means that people are coming back to take a second look. Your call to actions. Each post should have some form of call to action. It is something that you want the person to do. It can be really straightforward. It can be a bit fun. Obviously, you want it to be engaging. There are different ways to do it. Obviously, different words to look out for. Different words do not use. Okay. Organic versus paid. I specialize in the organic. So the posts that are going up for free, obviously you pay me. But the posts that are going up for free and the paid content, that is your boosted, that is your sponsored ads that are going up. Okay. The organic is when you're putting up a post. There's a strategy to it all. Okay. User-generated content, whenever your followers, your customers are posting photos. Great example, one of my clients, she makes doggy birthday cakes. So cute. And because people are loving those cakes, they'll share a photo of their dog enjoying it. And then I can use it to create content from. Okay, that's user-generated content. Your trending content, again, take it very lightly. Those are the dances, the challenges, you know, way back when it was the Harlem Shake and the cinnamon challenge and the really stupid things that make you question the younger generation. The ice bucket challenge. That was an interesting one. Social listening. So you're probably going to hear that a lot, all about social listening. Okay, that really is just coming back to what is your target audience talking about and the ways that you can figure out exactly what is going in. Okay, so you're monitoring those conversations about your business, about your industry, and you're creating content from that. Okay, very quickly as well, keywords. Keywords are essentially the things that are going to help your SEO on social media. Keywords are the things that people are searching. There are various types and categories of keywords that we're just not going to get into right now. But those are the things that when people are searching for things on Google or they're searching for things on Facebook, you want your business to pop up for them. Okay. The buyer persona. There's a lot of different names for this. I was taught that it was the buyer persona. It can be your avatar. It is your ideal client. Who are they? picking it out as if they are an actual individual person. Okay, we'll get into all of that as well. And the buyer's journey. So in business, I really, really hope you know about the buyer's journey. Okay, totally fine if you don't. No judgment, but with your strategies, buyer's journey is key. It is making sure that your content is meeting each stage of your ideal customer. The awareness stage, getting them engaged stage, the decision for them to purchase the product from you, engage in that service, and then the commitment, what gets them coming back. Your post should be hitting every single one of those stages. Obviously, one post does not hit them all, but your social media should represent each stage. Okay. All right, algorithms. This year, I'm going to start with the outs, and I'm going to move over here. Vanity metrics. Reach is great, but we don't care. Okay. What you need to be focusing on is not the amount of reach you're getting, but the engagement rating. Okay. Reach is great, but the thing is, you do not want to be going viral. There's a lot of people out there that say, I really, really want to go viral. What's the point? If you get 1 million views on an Instagram, how many of those 1 million people are actually going to go through and have a look at your business and buy from you? Or are they just scrolling? They might send it on to a friend and go, this is a really funny video, and suddenly your video's gone viral. But how is it actually helping your business? Okay. What you want is to be reaching that ideal clientele that is actually going to support your business. So even if you're only reaching 200 people, but 100 of those people are engaging in your business, that's going to be better than reaching 1 million people, but only 2 people are buying from you. Do you see what I mean? Relying on the trends. Again, that pulls back into the viral sensation. You don't need to be relying on trends. If it doesn't suit your business, don't do it. Just because there's a kid in Japan that is doing a dance and everybody's getting into it and recreating it, doesn't mean that you need to go back and do it when it doesn't actually suit your business at all. Okay? No strategy. Everything that you do online needs to have some sort of strategy. If you're just posting for the heck of posting, it's not serving your purpose. Okay? You're going in blind. You wouldn't build a house without a plan. You wouldn't just start chucking bricks on and hope to God it stands. And you need that strategy. Stock images. I can completely understand people not wanting to be in front of the camera. I get that. But stock images, when people see it, they instantly know if it's a stock image and they disconnect. Simply because social media is for socials. People want to see the person behind your business. Now, I've said it, or actually I haven't said it today, but I've said it many times before. People support people. They don't support business. Okay, they need to see you. People connect with people. They don't connect with the robots. And hashtags. If I keep seeing hashtags, I'm going to scream. Hashtags is not used the same way it once was. Instagram, the CEO of Instagram has actually come out and said, hashtags will not help your reach anymore. They're being replaced by the keywords. Yes, it has changed now. So even on Instagram, if hashtags are working for you, fantastic. But hashtags in general are not working the same way they used to. They used to help categorize. They used to essentially be the keywords to drive people to your page. They won't help your reach anymore. Okay, you need to be implementing the keywords into your captions, but without making it look spammy. Okay. The ins, the storytelling. People want to actually feel connected to what they're reading. There needs to be some sort of story through it. It can be really simple, but if people feel that you're being genuine, they're going to connect a lot better. Authenticity. Again, people connect with people. They don't want to go on to your page and see that you're doing the exact same thing as 15 other businesses, or that you're trying to be someone else. Because the rest of your audience, they might be struggling with self-esteem or thinking that they need to be doing something else. It all comes down to authenticity. That's why, even though the inner voice in my head says not to, I post photos without makeup, because bugger it. I don't care. Because that is authentically me. I don't know how to wear makeup, so why would I try? The most I can do is mascara, and that's fine. Nailing your messaging. That is key. Okay, so when you're looking at your target audience, you need to make sure that you are speaking directly to them. We'll touch on it a little bit more as well, very, very quickly.
A question from Janine.
Yes.
Are hashtags still, I'm going to read it as it's written, I'm not sure that's right though, Janine. Are hashtags still viable to add to be found in these potential, or will this die out as well?
Sorry, I'll jump in. So, okay, I can understand about the keywords and we can add them in, but when you do a hashtag, you then show up in that new feed to be found. Will hashtags die out and those feeds then no longer cease to exist?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so Instagram has actually come out and said that they are going to be changing the platform in itself. So you used to be able to follow hashtags and follow those categories. You're not going to be able to anymore. So they're changing that. Okay. Yeah, that's on the way out. So really it's about using those keywords when you're searching. Try to limit, you don't own anything with your social media, so make sure that when you're posting content, you're staying consistent, but you're not coming off spammy. But obviously, if you're using those keywords throughout, you're going to pop up when people are searching them. And that works through Google as well. Okay. Video, obviously, try and get onto videos as much as you can. Carousels and static posts still are great, but videos, especially on Instagram and Facebook, are doing incredibly well because people are, again, scrolling. And quality over quantity. And no, it's okay, I'm almost done anyway. Quality over quantity. You don't want to be posting just for the heck of posting. Okay? You don't. There needs to be a point to it. Otherwise, if you don't care about what you're posting, why should your audience? It needs to be quality over quantity. Okay? Okay. I'll share this with you, but this is just some of the things that you can be posting, types of content you can be posting that is going to help change. It used to all be about education. Education is great, but don't focus solely on it. Because when people are scrolling, it's normally after a very busy day. They don't have the mind capacity to be learning those things. Okay? They want to be able to relate, value-packed content. What is that piece of content doing for your audience? Okay? Any behind-the-scenes content. If you're going out to a business meeting, grabbing a coffee, take a quick selfie and share it with your audience. You know, just took a break, went down to this great coffee shop. If you're in Toowoomba, make sure to stop by. Really simple post, but it shows you out and about and it shows you're human and people like it. Okay? Any sort of storytelling content, a day in the life, come set up the shop with me. You know, for bakers as they're baking a cake. Oh, so this one day I had this client. Have you guys ever experienced this where you're just not in the mood, but you have to put on that happy voice and then you wonder where that voice came from? Yeah, I get it. It's tough. Storytelling content, something people can connect with. Polls, quizzes, competitions, creating that engagement, any conversation starters. Ask the public something. You know, what's your dog's favorite treat? If it's a treat store for your pet. What sort of massage is your favorite? What's your main problem area? Okay, really looking into that. Staff and client highlights. If you've got staff, do a meet the team because with every single one of my clients, anytime I post a photo of them or their staff, the engagement triples. Every time. Case studies. If you're trying to convince your audience to be doing something or to come through to you, you need to show them proof. You know, it can't just all be talk. So how are you beneficial to them? You know what I mean? Really looking into the case studies. You need to have the proof to back it up with what you're saying. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, stories. They only last 24 hours, but they help build a trust connection with people that are already following you. And it's all about nurturing that online community. Okay, and testimonials obviously goes hand in hand with your case studies. Show the proof that you know what you're doing, that you're an expert in your field, and show that other people are supporting you. It helps convert. And when to post. I get asked this question a lot. When do I post on Facebook? Really simple question. It depends on your target audience. It depends when they're active. It depends what platform they are using. Okay. We're going to dive a little bit more into that, but I'm going to try and go fast. Oh, no worries. Are there any questions for now? No? No? Okay. So again, it all depends on your target audience. So when you're looking at your target audience, we need to have a look. Okay, I've got a bit of a handout. You need to look at specifically what is your niche, what are the pain points for your target audience? What are they feeling? What are their struggles? Why would they come to you? Okay, you need to really have a deep dive into thinking, well, what do I have to say and why do people care? So we've got this avatar template. Again, avatar by a persona. Okay. I'm going to sort of go through it very quickly, but again, you don't need to fill it out today if you don't want to, but it really helps. Yeah, okay. It really, really helps to specifically have one person in mind. Yeah, there you go. It connects. One person in mind that represents a part of your target audience. So this is Sarah. Sarah is my ideal client. She is my buyer persona, one of them. You can have multiples, okay? Sarah has her own business. She's really struggling. She's tired. She feels like she needs to be using social media, but it feels like a chore instead of something to actually enjoy. And when you feel like it's a chore, why bother doing it? It just feels like another endless to-do list that she feels you have to do it to succeed, but I'm not enjoying it, and therefore I'm not actually enjoying my business. Okay? It's about understanding who your target audience is, really delving into, well, what is their life like? What is their age? Are they male or female? Where do they live? What does their day-to-day look like, and where can they access your help? Okay, really, really break it down. Once you've broken down your target audience, everything that you're posting, you need to think, am I talking to Sarah? Am I talking to Kelly? Am I talking to Dave? If you're talking too broad, you're going to miss people. Okay, if you're talking too broad, you're not going to be able to connect with that person. The language you're using, is that something they would be using? Do they understand the terminology you're using? If they don't, then you're missing out on opportunities. Okay, you know, rapport, everyone knows about rapport. It's gone digital. Okay, so you need to be having a look at online, how are they talking? What language are they using? What are they searching for? What are they Googling? You need to understand exactly who that person is, what their concerns are, to push through and to connect with them, okay? Rapport's gone digital. Mirror their language to the best of your ability, obviously while staying authentic to who you are, because you don't want to fake anything. Okay, so obviously when you've got a chance to go through, this will really, really help you when creating your messaging. And obviously, if you guys want to talk more about that, 100%, we can have a chat, but we're going to be running out of time. Okay, same thing. At the end of the day, everything quality over quantity. Don't be posting things just because you feel you need to post. Everything needs a strategy. You don't need to overthink it. Okay, but everything needs a strategy. If you're posting for the heck of posting, you're banging your head against the wall. Okay, I know I've rambled on a little bit, but I hope it is somewhat helpful, and I do apologize for that. But again, if there are any questions, we'll be able to chat. Okay, there will be time.
Thank you, Morgan.
Okay, thank you guys.
Just
Yours is on. I'm
Yep.
gonna turn mine off.
Percy, can you hear me all right for a second? Or Janine?
Yep.
Legend. We're just trying to sort out the tech in the background here because this is still just not playing nicely for us. Where's this? Are you all right? Right, where are we going here? Sorry, peeps, bear with us. Have you got any questions while we're while I'm sorting this out at the moment? Going all right? Righto. Where are we? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, I wish this would do what it's supposed to do. There we go, right. So we're gonna have some fun. Okay. I promise selfie lessons, and I'm gonna steal Morgan's phone to actually do this because mine is part of the recording right now. So as Morgan was saying, she was talking before about when you share photos of the business owner or your staff or whatever, that you get this massive jump in your engagement and so therefore the effectiveness. Because really social media, I use social media to increase awareness of my business. I very rarely actually sell something directly online, but that's also the way I choose to do that, right? I want to have the conversations with people one-on-one. Others do the bulk of their selling online. So you've got to work out how social media works for you and you as a human being, you and your business. But regardless of whether or not you're getting to that point of sale and commitment online, or whether you are just building engagement and then you take that offline, have conversations, knowing how to take a good selfie is core. Now, Morgan, can I please ask you to open your phone because we don't have another device. So there's a couple of things, and we'll flick this in just a second. Could you flick to the next slide in a second, please? Have you worked out how to get the slides to move there? Okay. Just, right, got him? Excellent, right. Here's to a great selfie. There's a few big things. First of all, what I'm going to do is, for those of you who are in the room, do this with a partner right now, but Janine online, I want you to just literally right now take a photo at 90 degrees to where you're looking. So take a photo here and then take a photo there. It's easier if you get someone to do it for you, because here's the thing, right? Our faces are not symmetrical. We will find a side that we like. Okay, stop a second. I'm not doing a selfie right now. I just want you to do this and take a photo of the side of, okay. just because I want to really turn your face this way, Claire. Yep. Okay. So I want a photo that's here so you can see what that side of your face looks like. And then you turn and take it on the other side. Sharon and Morgan, can you do that together, please? Or Sharon and Morgan, can you take a photo of Sharon, Kevin, I've got yours. All right. And then turn the other way so you've got both sides. Right. Why are we doing this? Because, oh, Janine, don't you dare say that. Janine says neither. Gorgeous human being. Don't you tell me that neither of them are nice. What you will naturally prefer the look of one side over the other. And so the goal is to work out what that is, because when you know which one when you then take a photo from that side, you're going to be more confident. Don't worry about the sunlight for now. Just look at the shape of your face in that direction. We're going to cover light and stuff in a moment. Okay. All right. So we're very short of time. We've gone way over. So I'm going to push through this quite quickly. But once you've got your best side, then we want to look at angles. Now, little experiment for you to do at home. We're actually setting a challenge for everybody out of here with that Facebook group that you've just joined. The content that's in there, there's a challenge that's going to run every day from now through until the next workshop, and there's a big prize for the most consistent human being. And given that there's not very many of you in here with this yet, you've got a pretty good chance of winning a damn good prize. We'll get to that later. But one of the things that I want you to do is I want you to choose your best angle. Now, how you do that? Once you've worked out which side, to me, this is my side that I prefer, right? You're then going to start, you're starting with every selfie. Most of us feel like we're a little bit heavier than we need to be. So we want photos that are taken from either at horizontal level or above, because when we look up at all relatives, right? Have you ever noticed, I never have my selfies lower than there? Yeah. Why? And then you talk to Kat and she goes, you do put your chin on the rail like this, and it feels bizarre, but it looks amazing, right? But never mind that. What we're going to do first of all is literally just keep your face in a space where you're comfortable. I want you to start at 90 degrees, at 90 degrees out, and 90 degrees, and parallel with your head. And we're going to take a collection of photos at this angle. Then you're going to lift your phone a little bit, take photos there, and then go higher again. So 3 levels here and a bunch of angles there. And later you go back and assess all of these and work out which is your favorite angle. Okay?
So you do it all the way around here.
Yep. Do all the way here and then all the way there, and work out where so you start with, this is my favorite side, and then you want to find your favorite angle. Okay? So you can practice a little bit now, but the main thing is really just to know, because we're a little bit short of time, but this is what I want you to do so that the goal here is to get you knowing that in this angle, this is my angle, right? This is where I feel like I feel the best. So when I'm taking a photo at this angle, I'm then more confident, and that translates to better engagement when you do your photos, right? And when you share on social media. I don't know what you're doing there, Stuart. That's a bit of, Stuart's got a kind of bug-eyed kind of look happening here. Right. So, because once you know your angle, that's all there is to it, right? It's a really simple thing. And then when you also, post for photos with people, you'll want to show that side to people more. It's all about getting you confident within here so that what translates onto screen is more of what you authentically want to share. Okay? So practice that one. Lighting, very important. Once you've found your angle, then you get on your angle and go, I'm just going to spin until I get the light that I want. So I've got, for those of you who are online right now, I've got a projector that's beaming the crap out of me right now. We've got natural light coming in from light wells in the ceiling, and there's also natural light from over there. So we're blanketed in light right now. Not the projector light is the only artificial one, but it also means that there's a lot of different shadows coming in. So it's a matter of spinning. And Stuart did a photo before where he's got these beautiful big windows behind him, but there's so much light coming in that his face is really dark, and that's not necessarily a great thing either. The windows do look amazing. Like, I love them. It's part of why we actually bought the place. But it's about looking at your specific location where you are at the time, so that you can then, my phone's doing weird things. That's my son ringing. He's going to have to wait. I love him, but so it's about, at the moment where you want to take the photo, just turn, see what happens. There are times where if you find that you have, like, I want to stand here because I can get a photo of me presenting to the room, but I've got too much light, you can get a little bit of paper or something white, bounce it on this side, you can throw some light back on the other side, so you haven't got so much shadow on this side. Now, if you want some really good tips on that one, you need to talk to Kat Lynn from Foodie Shops, because, man, that woman's amazing. Her workshops are phenomenal. Half of this is, one of my first things I did in business was I committed to this training program that cost me ultimately about $20,000. And the most important thing I got out of it was that how to take a great selfie, because most of the rest of the program was crap. However, you know, it also helped me to, like, meet a whole heap of amazing people, because that person who ran that program, her specialty was bringing together amazing humans. She just didn't, in my opinion, follow it up as well as I would have liked to have seen. But that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, pick your best side, pick your best angle, pick your best lighting at the time of taking the photo, okay? And then there's about how you hold your phone. Now, there's a trick to this. I do have big hands. However, everybody can do this. You've just got to work out how your own hands are going to work. I do this. I actually, let me just, I don't even think about it now. So when you've got, I haven't got even a screen up here at the moment, but you want to hold your hand so that your thumb is available to move. All right? So for those, I'm going to just bring that close. Hope I can't see who's online there. Can you see it, if you can see my hand? So what I do is I rest the weight of the phone on my little finger and then use my other fingers to support the back. All right? And then actually your pointer finger goes on the other side as a stabilizer. So these two kind of squeeze, and then your thumb can come in and press the button. And you can then hold your phone, either portrait or landscape. It just takes, it's like the same grip, but slightly modified to then do a landscape shape. Flatten your hand out a bit more, Sharon, so that your phone sits higher, like sits more, what's that first line there? If you don't have your palm reading, there's a line across here, right? And you kind of want to sit the base of your phone there. All right? Because this is the thing, right? Once you've got control of your phone, and you can do that with one hand, you can do whatever you like with this hand. You can still take photos. Like there's a million ways to take photos. You can tell Siri to take a photo. You can press your volume buttons to take photos. There's a bunch of different ways, but if you're going to use the dot on the screen, that's the most effective way that I've found to be able to actually hold your phone. Claire, put your pointer finger up the side of the phone. You're kind of doing this. Rotate your hand by about 90 degrees. What I might do is do a separate training on this and like a little video and focus on just my hand and put it into the group so you can come back to it, okay? Yep, better, but not quite. What's that? Yeah, but your phone's sitting too low. See how you need to have more space so that your thumb has more dexterity. Anyway, we will, because this is, Janine, I have no idea where you are online, I'm sorry. And I know Ali, well, she had to hop out before, so we might move on from this for the moment, but we'll come back to it later on and I'll share some more stuff, okay? Claire, I'll help you afterwards if that's okay. All right, now, always, I don't care who you are, where you are, what you're doing, always clean your screen, clean your lens, right? If you're taking a photo from this screen, then your lens is up there. And if you're taking on the back, then, but clean it. Like inside of your t-shirt will do fine. Lens cloth from your glasses will be ideal. But like me, I get makeup everywhere. I got makeup on all my things, right? But even just the oils from your skin, if you don't wear makeup, dust, anything will impact the clarity of your images. You see these people have got these lovely like sort of smudgy glow happening. It's usually because they've got crap on their screen and can't get a clear photo because their lens is dirty. Okay, so every single time you go to take a photo, give a little clean to your lens so that you've got the capacity at least to have a crisp image. Okay, all right. Now, doing lives. We were going to practice this and we don't have time, but I'm going to share my tips anyway. So you can do, I've done plenty of lives like this, right? But Morgan, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this these days, but we were always taught, maybe stop screen sharing for a little bit. We were taught when I did this training that the longer you're on the phone, on the live, the better, because it would drive engagement and the algorithm would push it out there. And then you wanted to also encourage people to talk to you, right? So you ask questions and acknowledge people who come on, because, you know, if you're on Facebook and doing a live, you often will get a notification come up that only you can see saying who's actually watching your live at the time, right? So it's really nice to say hello to someone so long as you don't lose track of what you're saying. All right. However, that's also something that's a little bit, it's a bit of a challenge. Some people do lose track. Maybe you're a little bit too nervous when you get started. But the thing is, where I'm going with that is I've done lots of lives for 15 minutes where I'm just talking to my phone. Your arm gets a bit tired, right? So some of the things that I've done, definitely tripods. So we've got a tripod here. This one's actually a tripod that so the base of this is from a selfie light and the top of this came from something else because I needed a tripod this morning. And so I literally pulled apart pieces and created that. Most tripods will have this a generic thread and nut in them so that you can then pull pieces apart from different, one's an expensive one, one's a Kmart one. All right. So if you're going to use a tripod, look for that. The tripod that my phone's sitting on right now folds down to something that's only about that long and about that round, the whole thing. And it actually comes with a little light and remote and whatever else. I have this little phone stand that I have used as a tripod. If you want something that's really compact, doesn't take up a lot of space when you're traveling. It's very solid little, you just sit your phone in there, right? But it holds it still. That's why we've got the phone at the moment sitting on the tripod here, because it holds it really still and it makes a higher quality recording in whatever platform you're using. Audio is also a big thing. You use a mic and you will instantly up-level your the quality of your video. I literally have mics like this that are currently packed away somewhere that I bought from AliExpress for about $15, right? And this is a Bluetooth that's currently Bluetoothing to my laptop. You can buy these for like, 150, 200 mics. Like there is no limit to how much you can spend on a mic if you choose to. But you don't have to. Any mic will help. Even just, your earbuds that you use for your phone. You can use that as well as a mic, and that will give you a better audio than just talking to your phone. Okay. One of the very best tripods I've ever found is this. Like, get creative, right? I have done lives where I've had my phone wedged into a branch of a tree, right? I've done lives where I've but a big old wad of blue tack stuck, boom, there, done. It'll stick. If it'll stick, this is a wall that may not stick to, but it'll stick to that wall, right? If it'll stick, it's not going to go anywhere, and you can position it anywhere you like. You can even use it to, like, if you've got a big enough blob, you can use it to wedge it on your table, right? So if you if you just need, improvise, there's a million different ways that you can, but the big thing is about having your phone stable and then getting your, and then the next thing, if you can, once you've got your phone stable, then get your audio sorted to the best of your capacity. Having said that, doing a live is far better than waiting to get the speaker, the audio before, you know what I mean? Like it's not a deal breaker. It's just a matter of, well, what do you want to put out there? If you want to put up something that's quality content and attract those, particularly if you've got a higher paying price point for your clients, that quality is more important to engage those people so that they will trust you with that significant amount of money, right? It makes a difference. And then we have the whole distraction factor. I am the queen of distraction, right? And this is why I have these. Now, when I first started doing lives, holy smokes, I hated them. Jesus, I would get so anxious and I would just, like, I'd shake for, like, if I sat and thought about it, I just would not actually even do it. So we were set a challenge, and again, this is, like I said, was hoping to do this today, have just run ourselves short of time. But in terms of one of the very best things that I ever did was to get a Post-it note. So these are sticky little Post-it notes. These are also like full stick blow-on. This thing sticks from the whole sheet, right? These are amazing, right? And they're the same size as like a card. I keep these just for my, like, I've got to just save ideas, right? But get this, write on it what you want to say. Choose a call to action, like Morgan was saying, and make a note of that. And then get this and stick it onto your phone screen. Because when we're doing a live, we're looking at this. Our natural, innate human tendency is to look at the eyes of the person we're talking to. We're not actually talking to anybody. We're seeing ourselves. So we look at our own eyes, and then we're not actually paying attention to the people that are online. If you cover this screen with your Post-it note, that's your little prompts, you'll then also focus on the camera where you should be. And if sometimes, like I was even doing arrows and stuff up to here so that to help remind me. And then if you have a smaller one, given the size of this phone, if you have a smaller, you can then still see the comments underneath. Okay? And also, particularly when you're getting started on lives, oh, there's so many tricks. I said 20 grand's worth here, right? If you've got a small piece of paper, you can't fit too many things on there, especially when you've got eyes like mine. So one or two things, a call to action, and you're done, and you can still engage. All right? So a couple of little tricks. So now, the whole thing about whether or not to engage with people when you're on a live, that depends on what you're presenting on. It depends on how nervous you are. It depends on whether or not you want to talk to that person. You don't have to acknowledge every comment that's there, because some people just get on to troll you. You start getting trolled, you're in a good spot, basically, because when you're getting started on social media, everyone's so nice. They just want to help you, right? When you start getting the haters, like I haven't got a hater yet. I'm going to celebrate it when that happens. So you, like, just because someone says something doesn't mean you've got to acknowledge it. You know, if you watch me do the Tuesday chats, which I do live via Zoom, I'll have my phone open separately and I'm looking at Zoom and just looking at the person that I'm talking to. Often a comment on Facebook chat comes in and the conversation in the Zoom has moved beyond that. So sometimes I deliberately ignore that, even if it was relevant, because I don't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation, right? And same happens, like whatever works for you. This is your live, you're promoting your business, you get to choose. Don't feel like you have to acknowledge them. I do suggest you go back and engage in that conversation via the comments later on, because the comments also will help to tickle the algorithm. All right? So hopefully that has been helpful. So key areas for engagement. Now, Morgan, please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is where I guess the order that I've always gone in. Personal profile social media is a social platform. They want to push out what you share on your personal profile. My personal profile on Facebook is a business tool. It is like, yeah, I share a lot of my personal stuff, but it's only stuff that I share that I'm willing to share, right? You'll see that I've shared very little about this building yet. It'll come, but we're also in a discovery phase here. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, there's a lot of challenges, and we've got to need to get past some of those challenges before I share a lot more about the building. I'll share about my health stuff. I'll share about this event, whatever, right? So you can pick and choose what you share. You don't have to put everything out there. You don't have to put anything out there. What you choose is up to you, but your personal profile will automatically get more reach than anything else on social media. Groups, yes? Oh, completely. Yes. So for those of you online, I don't know whether you'll be able to hear it because of where Morgan's sitting. She's saying that you don't necessarily need a personal profile. You can just have your, like, as in a big profile. I've chosen to build a fairly decent digital footprint with my personal profile, and then my business is a smaller one. You can use your personal one to have that there and have your business as your primary one. The challenge with that is that it takes more work to build a bigger business profile, because a business, well, Meta is a business. They own Facebook and Instagram. They want a business to pay a business, so they're not going to give a business page as much reach automatically. Okay, this is why cheapskate here, right? What's the cheapest way to get a footprint? Personal profile, ta-da, right? That's my choice. What you choose is up to you. Our goal with this is to give you information and then help you in however you want that going forwards. Groups are also a big one for getting out there, in that Facebook wants, groups are about building social communities, right? So groups get a lot of traction. If you look my feed right now, man, I've got just group after group after group after group. The odd like professional profile that's really big, and then a little tiny scattering of stuff that's happening in my friends at the moment, right? I've probably created that because for a long time I have scrolled, like I get in there, I look at my notifications. I don't necessarily interact a lot with my like person-to-person profiles. But that's what's happening in my feed right now. I mean, my feed is amazing. I only get positive stuff, because any of the negative stuff I ignore it, or I mute it, or I unfollow it, or whatever. So all this stuff about people talking about social media being a toxic place, there's a lot of toxicity there, but I don't engage in it. So I don't the algorithm doesn't show the toxicity to me. All right. So, so it's about, I guess, being aware. Whether or not you need your own group, there's a lot of work in building a group and maintaining it. I am incredibly grateful for Kirsty and the other people who have been on my team who have helped with the maintenance of my group, which, like Leaders in Business, which I know you're all a part of. But it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of responsibility, because, you know, you've got a duty, in my opinion, of making sure that if someone comes in who's a little bit toxic, that you want to stop them from hurting anybody else. So, which is why we have our, you know, questions on board to stop filtering off people who come in, etc. But you can still take advantage of all the groups that exist and share really good information and use that to help build your profile. The other thing is, one thing that's something I just learned recently is, if you go in on your business profile and you engage in another business's profile, that has a much bigger effect than you going in as your personal profile connecting to a business profile, right? Because, you know, if I go in, talk, and Stuart's done a post and I like it or share it or comment or whatever, it helps both of us, right? So if I'm wanting to build my business profile, if I go in as 10,000 Dreams and look at the Ask a Food Tech posts as opposed to the Stuart Eddy post, then that's going to help our businesses both. All right? And I'm getting a thumbs up from Morgan, so I got that one right, people. Yeah. Yes.
They will tend to follow you back. So obviously, if the right people to follow,
yes,
are complementary, or who are potential referrals, partner.
Yes.
But following them, often people feel obliged to follow you back, and then you start to feel that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Sorry, it's time and trying to get the PowerPoint presentation to move. I didn't mean to wrap you up. I'm sorry. It's like 10:02, and I want to finish this so that we can then have other conversations beyond the midday. So what's next from here? Morgan and I obviously are available if you want to work with us individually, and we can have conversations around that outside of the room later on. But right now, I mentioned before about the challenge. So, and I have also already mentioned the monthly workshops. Next one, please. So the Brunch and Learn series that we have planned, just actually backtrack one little bit. There's another handout there with call to actions. I meant to mention this earlier when I was talking about doing lives. Every single time you do that's all right. Share the calendar as well, so it's done. Janine, these are have been already put into the Facebook group. Let me know if you haven't got them, and we will get them to you if you're not in that group yet. Kirsty, can you have a look at that, please? So if you have a look at the call, I don't know what it's called, call to action something. There's a whole list of prompts there for ideas on the call to action that will increase engagement in your live, or it can be the cornerstone of your live if that's what you want. Thank you. So the call to action, essentially what we're trying to do is we are trying to start a conversation. Whether that conversation is tell me about your favorite ice cream, or whether that conversation is I'm running a workshop and this is what I want to do, and is this something that is of interest to you, right? I'm not going to jump in there and go, I'm running a workshop, buy my shit, right? I'm running a workshop, I hope this helps. If this is of interest, let me know, right? There's a very different perspective in terms of what that looks like. And I'm not going to come on to a group straight up and say, I'm running a workshop. It's someone who's already asking questions around, say, social media. Oh, have you tried this? Do you want that? I'm a part of a 4-month training program at the moment, and there's a group within that who are really struggling with their social media. So I've gotten into that group chat to help them because I've got this social media experience and have been in that chat for, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks or so that's been running, and had said at the beginning, oh, I've got a workshop coming up, I'll get some details to you. And, but I didn't share that. I've been sharing and helping in that group with like ideas and content, and this is how you can better use what you're doing now. And then I shared the actual workshop and said, well, if you want to jump in, it's $97, right? So it's about, there's a need, I can help fill that need. We build a little bit of trust, right? So we've got that know, like, trust stuff going on, build that, and then we share, right? So depends where you're up to with your promotion as to the style of call to action. It could be that you're just saying, do you agree? Put a 1 in the comments, or a 2 in the comments, or give me a heart or an emoji, right? Because also in your reactions, a thumbs up is good, a heart's better for the algorithm, and a cranky face will kill you. Don't share cranky faces even if you don't like it, right? Send a care and then put the cranky comment in the comments, right? Because the cranky comment will, unless it's a post that you want to not see going on, right? So anyway, call to actions for you there. But let me get back to this. What are we doing next? The challenge, were we, or the workshops? No, workshops. Sorry, I'm a little bit scattered here. So you've got the calendar. You can see what we've planned so far. These dates are pretty much set, right? We are human. Some things will change. We've put a disclaimer at the bottom. But Morgan and I have gone through and assessed our calendars, and to the best of our knowledge, this will work for us. We've got a whole lot of topics there that we want to cover. We've deliberately chosen guests to come in to help who, like you were talking before, Stuart, about paid advertising. So we've invited Richard Watts from SalesGrow to come in and share from that perspective, because that's his wheelhouse, right? But we've got a couple of months there that we've deliberately left empty, because we also want to take feedback from those people who are either here today or who are coming in for later in the year to design and help you with what you want help with. We can share a lot of other stuff, but we want this to be really helpful for the people who have invested into this space, all right? So that's there. Now, these workshops are all $97 each. So there's 11 of them that we planned because December, we're running them, aiming to run them at the end of the month. Some of them are not. Some of them are in the middle because we're like got clashes. But end of the month, December, I want to be with my family. So we're not doing a December workshop, but we have got one planned. So 11 workshops, $97 each. I don't even know what that comes back to. There we go. We're asking for $497 for an entire year, right? You've already spent $97 today. Next one. We're missing a bit here. There we go. So this is $1,067 if you were going to buy every single workshop, right? These recordings are not being shared into the group. These recordings are being shared with only the people who commit to the individual workshops. You have membership of the group for as long as you choose to stay there, right? But you'll get slides I want to send individually to people with the recordings. Handouts will go into the group. So you can, if you miss workshops, you can catch up later on, but you're not gonna, if there's not an investment level, you won't get access to all of the information. Okay, because my opinion, it's not fair on those people who do invest to give everything for free into that group just because you've paid for one of them. Okay, so $497 for an entire year worth of stuff that you'll have access to either here in person, on Zoom live, or via recording later on, which we think is a pretty good deal because we're trying to pack as much as we can into this, and there's also ongoing support, right? That's the plan. Right, now, so let us know about that one. We can work that out. For those of you who paid already, that'll only be a $400 upgrade because you've already paid the $97 today. The challenge. This is separate. This is for everyone who's a part of today's workshop or this month's, who's committed to this month's workshop. Daily lives. Why daily? Because it's about getting rid of whatever it is that's stopping you from doing a live right now, because most of us, myself included, are not doing enough of them. Whether it's that you are not prioritizing it because of what you're doing with your business, whether it's that it petrifies you like it did for me, whatever's going on, we know that lives get more traction than anything else. And so that's why we want you to do daily lives for this challenge. Now, we're not going to be mean, well, not super mean. We're not here to say, you've got to do this or else, right? This is an invitation to you to help you grow. And I want you to, what I would invite you to do is to get your own version of a success bell. And every time you've done a live or whatever it is that's currently holding you back, right? You do that. But what we want you to do, could you go to the next one, please? The first week, if you choose, we want you to put your live into the Brunch and Learn Hub, which is that Facebook group that we've just put you into, all right? Now, you don't have to stay in the group. This is not we're not locking you there. We've put you in there for the sake of helping you right now. And if you choose to go, all on you, right? But in that group, I think we've got 8 members, right? There's those of us who are in the room here and those of us who are online, and Ali, who I don't know whether she's back or not. There's only a small group of us who are in there. Kirsty is in there, who is my VA. She's helping with all of this as she does with all of my social media. And then, you know, everyone else who is Morgan and I and all the people who've come in and paid. Beyond days, now, every time you do a live, one of the challenges is that you must tag both Morgan and I. 2 reasons. First one is accountability. Second one is it helps us, right? You don't have to mention us, and you can, like, I'm okay if you want to tag us in the comments afterwards. It doesn't need to be in the title of the live, but you need to tag us so that we can see that. All right. Also, please make sure that you're friends with us on Facebook if you're not already. I think you'd have to be able to be put into the group, honestly, but because otherwise, if you do a private live and we're not tagged and we're not friends, we can't see it. So day 1 to day 7, it's okay to do them in the hub. If you're happy to do that somewhere else, in a group, on your own page, whatever, that's okay too, right? And if you don't know how to do that, we'll come back and help you. But day 1 to 7 in the group, from day 8 until the next workshop, which I think is like 3.5 weeks or something. It's not a full month because of what's happening in February. Live is to your audience. Now, where your audience is, that's your choice. But you need to still tag us, all right? So if you're going to go into a group that we're not a part of, then either invite us in or send us a copy or something. We'll have to work out how that works. But wherever's going to help your business the most. So be a little bit strategic about this, right? But in my case, I just choose to do a model on my personal profile and then share wherever, all right? I'm like, the simpler the better as far as I'm concerned. Simple, effective, done. So key topics, as Morgan said, that depends on who your clients are as to what you want to share about. My suggestion is that you tell your story. If you want to share about this, that would be appreciated, but it's absolutely not expected. Behind the scenes, what it is you're doing, but this is like the easiest thing to start with, in my opinion, because we already know these things. We know what we've been doing today. We know what we've got planned next week. We know our business content, right? We know how we got there, and people want to learn that about you. Part of my story is I grew up in a family where of cattle breeders, right? My brothers and my dad, from the day that they first drew breath, it's all they want to do is breed cattle. And I'm like, play with cattle, travel, you know, I literally have a butterfly ring because I was just the butterfly that flitted everywhere. I reckon I've worked in maybe 15 different industries in my life, right? And it wasn't until I was 42 that I worked out what I want to be when I grow up, and helping people to define what they want for their life. This is it, right? That's my life purpose. And the changes that it's created within me in terms of confidence, commitment, tenacity, all that stuff, it just skyrocketed. But also the peace that I have on the inside, just magnified. And I want everybody to experience that. So that's like the fact that I didn't know what I wanted for such a long time. And that's a key part of my story, right? So yeah, not that I'm not selling it to you. So this is literally now, I feel like a masterclass. This is what you mean for being the most consistent in the daily challenge. All right. So that's everything for today. Thank you for everyone who's been here. Thank you for your run. Nice to meet you. Any questions, let me know. We might stop the recording now though, and then we'll continue the conversation later on. But thank you so much.